In 2014, the National Campaign to Prevent Teen and Unplanned Pregnancy ranked Texas number 46, 37.8 of births per 1,000 girls in the teen birth rate comparison among girls aged 15 through 19. The number of teenage pregnancies has gone down in the state of Texas, while the number of repeat pregnancies has gone up. The cause still remains the same. Not enough parents are giving information to their teenagers about sex and its consequences. We can come up with a solution to resolve this, having more potential involvement and knowledge about the different forms of contraceptives. More girls under the age of 15 give birth in Houston than any other U.S. city. According to a new national report, in many of the city's teen moms have additional children before they turn 20, reported Tom Ackerman of the Houston Chronicle. Parents are clueless on what their children are doing when they are not around, and some parents are too scared to talk to their teenagers about sex and its consequences. And this is only making them curious about the experiment. Planned Parenthood documented that parents have no idea what's going on under their roof, and no one is talking about the birds and the bees. 50% of all teens feel uncomfortable talking with their parents about sex, compared to just 19% of parents who feel uncomfortable talking with their teens. Sex is heavily related to a social trend. If one teen is doing it, then the other wants to do it, making it peer pressure. The way things have changed in the 21st century, where sex is for two people who truly love each other and plan to commit to each other for life, has changed. Oh, no, Alicia. Go ahead.
The effects on children of adolescent parents are progressing tremendously since 2010 until now, with negative effects. One of these factors comes from the lack of a substantial amount of finances. In 2012, it was documented that a family of four is considered poor by the federal guidelines with an annual income of $23,000 or more. 5 out of 10 children suffering from the effects of poverty most likely will have a difficult time finding their way through high school and their way through college. This may cause trouble finding employment for the child later on in life, as well as economical issues. There are impaired cognitive and emotional developments, along with health consequences leading into their adulthood. For example, depression leading to any disorders linked with malnutrition or obesity. I mean, sure, these problems may go away, or they could cause other medical issues that may not get treated properly due to the lack of funds. There are state-administered assistance programs which provide help to these families in need, but due to the fact that our government system doesn't consider the family, maybe living in subsidized housing or has debt, this causes the family's income to be missed, leaving them with negligible amounts of money, causing the family not to keep medical insurance. Another issue is due to the lack of supervision in the household, there are teenagers typically dropping out of high school, making unlikely decisions, choosing to have sex, causing them to have babies, maybe even more babies, repeat pregnancies. Then this may lead the teen mothers to be emotional and physically unhealthy. The fathers usually have lower incomes due to either child support, or they may just not feel the need to go to work anymore because they're depressed of their situation. They start losing educational hours due to working longer hours to gain income. They may be homeless or living in unstable environments.
This brings me to the solution to the issue at hand. The basic solution is to prevent the initial pregnancy, and there will be no repeat pregnancies. First, address the communication issues that teens and parents are having in general. Second, address parents via group meetings to discuss and have a dialogue between parent and teen with an unbiased coach. Research shows that teens with parents stay very involved have a decreased chance of pregnancy. Within the dialogue from parent or adult to teen, we establish what the real issue is by using a formula that a nonprofit organization with a proven track record named On the Verge. We do this by closing the gap in communication from parents and teens and or adult to teen and diving into what the core root attributes and external factors are. How do we do this, you may ask? We develop a plan of action. First, we check the spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental ties. Meaning, does the teen have a spiritual routine such as church or meditation, etc.? Who does the teen hang out with? Are the parents at home or do they have little time for the teen? Do you know where the teenagers hang out? How much nutrients is the teen taking in? Brain function and proper nutrition are tied in together. Too much sugar or caffeine does affect good decision making. Drinking alcohol and smoking affect decision making. So teens need rules, regulations, attention, and involvement from the adults in the community. Secondly, look at the attributes of the situation. What are the teens displaying in their actions and culture? The teen culture says today that sex is a thing to do. Sex is a way to show love, or sex is a must. The psychology and hypnosis from images in the media shows us that we need to de-hypnotize those images by giving the true look on pregnancy. Give teens a cost breakdown to raise one child and give them the options and resources available, such as where to get birth control and the benefits of abstinence. If an adult notices a teen has become different in their actions or their behaviors, be sure to communicate with them and keep going over the benefits of teens not becoming pregnant at an early age.
According to the 2011 data from University of Texas, almost all of Harris County school districts have a teen birth rate higher than a USA averages. Another problem is when adolescents have repeat pregnancies. In 2014, one in six have repeat pregnancies. Births of 15 to 19 years old where females already had one or more babies. 57,000 of repeat pregnancies teens have birthed twice. 8,000 of repeat teens have birthed 3 times, and 1,200 of repeat teens have gave birth 4 times. To prevent adolescent pregnancy, the parents should have an open conversation about sex, and if the teen is being sexually active, about ways to prevent pregnancy, such as condoms, Plan B, or different forms of birth control. If the adolescent has already had a baby, the best way is to get on birth control or practice abstinence as soon as possible.